everyone, welcome back to our last Fit Kit lesson on sugar sweetened beverages. So what drinks are considered sugary? This would be sodas, fruit juice or fruit punch, lemonades, iced teas, sports drinks, and energy drinks. So why do we even bother talking about sugary drinks? What kinds of things can happen to our body if we drink too much sugar? First of all, we get an energy crash. If you guys remember when we talked about nutrition and the carbs, sugars are a carb and they're energy for our body. But if we drink something with too much sugar, we get an energy rush. And then once our body uses up all that energy really quickly, we get an energy crash. And you may feel super tired and cranky after. The next thing that can happen is that sugary drinks cause weight gain. And I know we don't talk about that a lot, but if you drank one sugary drink for the whole year, every day, you could gain up to 15 pounds in a year. But on the flip side, if you do have a sugary drink habit and you stopped drinking those sugary drinks, then you could potentially lose weight as well. The last thing is sugary drinks cause tooth decay and cavities. And sometimes that's painful if you get a cavity that gets into your gums. And it just doesn't look very nice, right? When you're a kid, it may not seem like a big deal because you still have baby teeth. But once you're an adult, those teeth are yours to stay for the rest of your life. And if you have already built up a habit of drinking sugary drinks every day, it's a really hard thing to stop doing. Water is the healthiest choice you can make for your body. Did you know that you actually need water to survive? Your body is made up of over half water. Humans can survive a couple weeks with no food, but only a couple days with no water. And every time you breathe, use the bathroom, or sweat, you're losing water. And the only way that you can replace it is, you guessed it, drink more water. Do you know how much water you should drink every day? There's a lot of recommendations that I've heard, like 8 glasses, or a gallon, or I don't know, other things as well. The rule of thumb is you should drink half of your body weight in ounces of water every single day. So that means if you weighed 200 pounds, you should drink 100 ounces of water. If you weighed 50 pounds, you should drink 25 ounces of water. So this is a Poland Spring bottle with the water bottle cap on the top. So it's a little bit bigger than the regular size small bottle, but this bottle is 24 ounces. So if you're a 50-pound person, this 24-ounce water bottle is pretty much all you need to be drinking all day, but you can drink more if you get thirsty. I always aim for a gallon of water every day because our bodies have a really hard time telling the difference between being hungry and being thirsty. And sometimes when we think we're hungry, our body is just actually asking for water. So I make sure to drink a big glass of water before I have a snack. Water also helps control your body temperature. That's why you sweat. It's trying to keep your body cool. Water is also needed to digest your food. It helps bring nutrients throughout your body, and you may feel tired or get a really bad headache if you haven't drank enough water. Have you guys ever taken a look at a nutrition label before on food? If a food or drink has more than one ingredient, then it has a nutrition label. If you think about the grocery store, most of the foods on the outside edge don't have a nutrition label because they're called a whole food. So that would be like your fruits and veggies, your meats, your cheeses, your eggs, and some other things. A nutrition label tells us how healthy or how unhealthy a food could be for us. Pause this video and go find a food item in your kitchen that has a nutrition label on it, and we'll take a look. This is what a nutrition label looks like. Up at the top, it will tell you how many calories there are, how many servings there are in your container, and what the serving size is. Some bigger drinks, and even some smaller drinks too, can have 2 or 3 servings in one bottle, so you really want to pay attention to that. Most of these drinks are things I've seen, like Powerades and Gatorades will have 2 or 3 servings in a bottle. So if you're drinking the whole thing, you have to do a little extra math. Below the calories and the serving size is where we'll be focusing for this lesson. So if you notice, everything has a little G next to it, and that means grams. That's how they measure things on the nutrition label. But we don't use grams a whole lot in our everyday life, so it's really hard for us to picture what that looks like. So what I always do is convert our grams into teaspoons, because a teaspoon is easier for me to think about. So a teaspoon is the little spoon that you have in your kitchen. So in order to switch from grams to teaspoons, we have to do a little math. So for every teaspoon, there's going to be 4 grams. So if you see something on a nutrition label with 40 grams of sugar in it, you're going to divide by 4 to get the amount of teaspoons. So if you had 40 grams of sugar, that would be 10 teaspoons of sugar. So that's 10 little scoops of sugar in a drink or a food item. See if you can do math or have an adult help you do the math for the food item that you found in your kitchen. Remember, you want to divide your grams by 4. So this is one of the boards that I usually bring into the classroom when we do sugar sweetened beverage lessons. So it's a little bit harder because we can't ask questions, but if you guys can see, next to each drink has the amount of sugar that's in that particular beverage. So up at the top, starting on the left, I've got a root beer. There's a Dunkin' Donuts fruit culotta. There is a lemonade and an orange juice. Then in the middle we have a Gatorade. Beneath the Gatorade is an Aroma Joe's Rush, which is like an energy drink. And then we have Mountain Dew, iced tea, and on the right side we have a Monster energy drink and an orange soda. So on this board we have all 3 of the very sugariest sodas that are out there, and that is the root beer, the Mountain Dew, and the Sunkist or orange soda. There's also one other soda, and that's not very popular, but cream soda is also very sugary. If you can see on the middle, some things that we like to talk about are the Gatorades and the Powerades, because a lot of kids are confused about sports drinks. You may have seen college or pro athletes drinking them. You may have other kids on your sports team that all drink them. You may think that they help you perform better, or you might just not like the taste of regular water. Many athletes you see drinking sports drinks either don't need them, or they've been training or practicing for over an hour at a higher intensity in hot or humid weather. You don't really need the sugar in sports drinks. I know many of you have heard the term electrolytes. So if you've been working hard, you need to replenish your electrolytes. When in reality, if you have been drinking water and staying hydrated all day and you're eating a balanced diet, you should get all the water and electrolytes you need from your food. One other thing that I've heard from one of the health teachers that I've talked with is that if you want to focus on electrolytes, but you don't want all the sugars that's in sports drinks, pickle juice is actually a good source of electrolytes. And I know some kids really like the taste of pickles and pickle juice. Another thing that we often talk about in class is fruit juices. So a lot of kids think that juice is a healthy choice, and it can be if it's a 100% juice and if it's in small amounts. So the serving size recommended for juice is the 4-ounce cups, which is exactly what you get at school for breakfast. Any more than that is more than 1 serving. And if you can see, let me move a little bit closer. Just that small bottle of orange juice has 11 teaspoons of sugar in it. We always like to tell kids that it's a healthier choice to drink water and eat the actual fruit. So eat an actual orange or an apple, because then you're getting all the vitamins and nutrients that come with the skin of the fruit. One other thing that's not on this board, but we do have in some of our other boards, is the chocolate milk and white milk. So chocolate milk has about, if we think about the size at school, has about double the amount of sugar that the white milk has. So white milk has 3 teaspoons of added sugar, and the chocolate milk has about 6 teaspoons of added sugar. Did you know how much added sugar you're supposed to get in one day? The recommended amount for grown-ups is, for women and girls, is 6 teaspoons of sugar. And the recommended amount for grown-up boys is 9 teaspoons of sugar. So if you look at some of the amounts of teaspoons of sugar in some of these drinks, 18, 14, 19, 33, that's way over the recommended amount of extra sugar that you're supposed to get in one day. So if you guys have any more extra questions about sugary drinks, you can reach out to Miss Wallace and she can get them to me and I will be sure to answer them. Other than that, I challenge you guys to just be aware of how much extra sugar. Take a look at the nutrition labels of things that you're eating and drinking and share it with parents and try to make healthier choices when you can and use sugary drinks as a treat.